Good
the Honourable
Chair.
Professor Sam Lotu-Iiga.
Thank you, Mr Chair. It's an honour to take a call on this estimates debate for 2015. Sir, I just want to touch on some of the areas of corrections which members across the House have alluded to. And we will agree across this House that safety and security of staff, of the New Zealand public and of prisoners is paramount. It's paramount. Secondly, sir, as has been alluded to by colleagues across the House, is that rehabilitation of offenders is also really important. It's important because most of the offenders that go to prison ultimately get out. And we've got to get them reintegrated and rehabilitated so that they can take part meaningfully in our society once they return to civil society. I just want to touch on a couple of points the members across the aisle talked about today. It is about justice for people, and I, like many across this country, were appalled at some of the footage around fight clubs allegedly that were happening at Mount Eden, and that's why we put in place a review by the Chief Inspectorate, overseen by the Independent Office of the Ombudsman, which is really important. And I urge members in this House, as well as the general public, if they have any evidence of violence, any evidence of corruption that have been bandied around this House, that have been loosely accused of different people in Serco, people across the prison estate, if you've got any evidence, bring it forward. Bring it forward to the Chief Inspectorate. Bring it forward to the investigators who are currently going through all the issues that have been bandied around in society, because what we need is a thorough review and investigation of the facts. We need a report that will look into these matters, and then we need to sensibly make decisions that affect not just Serco but the prison estate right across this country. So, sir, I just want to touch on the estimates in terms of what we're doing in corrections and how we're doing in corrections. So, sir, the reoffending rate since 2011 has come down 9%, just over 9%. So we're currently just over 27%. And I was in Australia recently for the Ministers' Conference, and when you look at reoffending rates in Australia, New South Wales over 42%, over 42%. So that's 50% more than New Zealand. Queensland, high 30s, high 30s. So when we look at our system and how we're doing, compared to our Australian neighbours, the most important neighbours that we have, the most important partners, a system, a jurisprudential system that is very similar to our own, and we're actually doing far better in terms of reoffending. We're doing far better in terms of rehabilitation. It's one of the reasons why the South Australian Minister visited me last week and asked, what are we doing around rehabilitation? What are we doing around reintegration? Because they want to know what we're doing that we're doing well. And so while some members will bash this system, the correction system, there's actually a lot that's going on in our system that's really good. There's a lot that we're doing with Māori, around tikanga Māori in our prisons, to get Māori men particularly connected with their culture, connected with their whānau, getting back into society and doing well again. There's so much in our system around employment, a goal of every prison in this country being a working prison by 2017. And why is that important? Because we know that jobs reduce dependency on welfare. We know that jobs reduce hardship. And we also know that jobs reduce reoffending rates. It keeps people out in our communities. It enables them to look after, feed and house their families, their whānau. It enables them to be better citizens in this country. So that's why we're going for a fully complementary working prisons in our across the estate, and that's both within Serco and in the public prisons. So we're also increasing numeracy and literacy in our prisons, the programs. We know that 2/3 of those predominantly men that turn up to our prisons can't read or write. They are functionally illiterate. And that's why we've signed an MOU with the Tertiary Education Commission. We're now running programs, numeracy and literacy programs, to get these men back learning, growing and in jobs. And finally, sir, I just want to salute the 8,000 men and women, both in private and public prisons, that are out there every day making this correction system the best that it can be.
Members, we move to the vote then. The question is that vote Attorney General, vote corrections, vote courts, vote justice, vote parliamentary council, vote police and vote serious fraud stand part of the schedules. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. So, party votes called for. Ask the clerk to conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
32 votes opposed.
Green Party.
14 votes opposed.
New Zealand First.
12 votes opposed.
Maori Party.
2 votes in favour.
Act New Zealand. United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Members, the ayes are 62, the noes are 58. The votes will stand part. Members, we now come to the votes in the Maori, other populations and cultural sector, volume B5, volume 8. And the question is that vote arts, culture and heritage